Welcome to Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum.
I'm Marcus Richardson.
And I'm Nathan Hicken.
This is part 6 of the Betrayal Exhibit. I have to say that at the beginning because if I don't, people might get confused because I am in the study and I just talked to the dreamer yet again, and I think that that's how episode 5 started. So, no, listener, this is not deja vu.
Even though we have been here before.
Yes. This one is not a time loop. Been there, done that. Okay. So, lots of ooky spooky stuff going on in this house. I think I want to double down on solving that puzzle in the ballroom that was given to Sumter, and then also solving Sumter's murder, because at this point I really just have one suspect, Alec, because Alec was engaged to Medina when Medina met Sumter in Italy. But I don't know the full story, so maybe there's also something going on. Maybe Medina has a reason that she'd want Sumter dead. Maybe, again, this is all an elaborate hoax. Who can say? But
who can say?
I think I will go to the ballroom.
All right. You enter the ballroom to see Sumter's body still lying there on the floor.
Third time's a charm. Maybe if I check his body this time, something will...
Oh my goodness.
Let me think of things I haven't specifically said that I looked at on his body.
Okay.
I'm mostly joking, but you're saying okay, making me think that that's actually a good thing to do. So let's again just look at under the eye patch there. You know, like I really want to look at that metallic, robot eye.
You look at it, it's a metallic eye. It's metal. It's kind of cool. You could probably take it out if you wanted to. I keep it as a keepsake.
Ooh. Tempt me.
I know.
I don't feel like desecrating even a robot body today. That would be cool. To remind me, this is a crossbow bolt of some kind that was shot through his chest from the front.
Yes. He was facing whoever shot him.
Okay. I mean, that goes along with the fact that there was a conversation between these two and there was something like, I knew you'd come. What direction is he facing? Like what direction were his feet facing? Does it look like?
So he's facing the doors that you came through. He's slumped up against the wall, but facing the doors.
Okay, right, up against the wall. Okay, so, I mean, a person probably entered the room behind him. Interesting. Maybe I should ask some murdery questions of these folks. I've kind of been distracted by the whole high concept of this exhibit, but I haven't asked for, like, alibis of people. Or, like, where were you when you heard the scream? So far, I think I've only... Well, I know where Jane was when she heard the scream because it was her scream.
Yes.
So, maybe there's something to look into there. I have this map with symbols, and the symbols correspond to things to play on the piano, but I think I still need a key, and I think that that's the result of this puzzle with Sumter, if I had to guess, because his thing said, you are the key. Is there anything key-like on his person? Is there like a key-shaped cavity in his heart that's been ripped out of him?
You can't tell because the heart has been ripped out. So if there was a cavity within the heart shaped like a key, you would not know.
But also, who would know that there's a key inside of him, you know?
That's a good question.
He showed his heart to Medina. And that day, she always knew if I'm ever in my great-uncle's house, I need to kill him to take the key to go into the grandfather clock to escape.
Step by step, boom.
Right, it all makes sense. I do think I'm going to talk to Genevieve real quick. So, are do you have any idea of like what Sumter might have been doing or trying to do, considering what his note was?
What he might have been doing. Read me his note one more time.
Sounds good. Let me do that. As a reminder, Genevieve, you're so forgetful. It says, Sumter, I know you are suspicious of me and my motives, but more so, I know you want to know who you are, Sumter. To truly understand yourself and your role in all of this, you must go to the ballroom and see eye to eye. Okay, so let's just do another sweep. Eyes. Eyes on portraits. Eyes on... I mean, I've looked at the statues, but I don't think I've really looked at the art.
You've not. So, as you do another sweep, you again... So you're looking at the eyes of in the portraits. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You go through and you meet the Minotaur's eyes. You have a little staring contest. Jason and the Argonauts there and there too. I'm fairly certain I said that. You pause once you come to a portrait painting of Prometheus. You notice that Prometheus, who's sculpting a man out of clay, is facing towards essentially the camera, and one of his eyes is indented. In fact, it looks like an eye shaped
like an eye that I could pull out of a person as a souvenir.
I mean, you could, but you said you weren't desecrating any corpses today, so...
Darn. You're right. And I'm a man of my word. Just kidding. I have a reason now. So I go back to the body and I pluck that eye. If thy eye offends thee, pluck it out.
You pluck out the eye. It comes out pretty easily. You have to unscrew it a little bit. And now you have a fun little eye. Genevieve is looking at you kind of concerned. I've stolen things, but I've never stolen a man's eye before.
All right. Whatever. I'm sure you've stolen other, even more invasive things. And I put the eye into the painting.
As you put the eye in, you hear a series of clicks and whirs, and the painting folds out from the wall, revealing a secret room. This room is essentially a mad scientist lab. Cobblestone floors, bookcases with numerous notes, scattered parts, wires, things in jars, light bulbs, and you can see in the center of it a giant blackboard.
I approach it.
Okay, go ahead and look at CHLKMN first, and then I'll have you look at something else.
You know, I've usually been cutting out the look at fill in the blank, but that is such a large title. I'll probably just leave that in. Also, do you want to tell the listener how many images there are for this exhibit all in total?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22.
Incredible. This is less of a podcast and more of an individual visual experience for only me. All right, pulling it up. Oh my gosh. All right. We have a drawing of a robot. Or I guess I would say, what would you call that? Blueprints?
Blueprints, yeah. Sketch.
Schematics?
Schematic, that's it, yes.
Of a robot man. And also scrawled on this is, I am Prometheus.
Yes. Okay. The sketch, while you have not visually interpreted Sumter, but it does look a lot like Sumter.
I want to look at his, the heart region of the schematic. Is there anything, I'm looking at it right now, but I was wondering if you could describe to me, is there any clues here?
There is, actually. As you look at the heart, you notice there's a close-up. Go ahead and open BLKL.
Okay, I noticed there's something here, and I click Enhance.
Enhance.
It says, the heart is the key to unlocking hers. And then it says, 1921, 1320, 518. It goes on.
Yes.
for like 10 lines. Oh my gosh. I don't want to decode this. Can we post this?
Yes. I will say, as long as you figure out how to decode it, I will not make you individually go by and actually decode this word for word. I have a translated one. So.
Oh, good. I have a feeling that Lord Weitzel has been using a number cipher for his mostest, secretest memories or messages.
Okay, so if you feel that's true, tell me what the first two letters are.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Hey, is this what you wanted?
Exactly. Genevieve is applauding you as you do so.
What's sad is I think I actually do need to be doing this to figure out the 19th letter of the alphabet, which is very sad. M-O-P-Q-R-S. Is it? Oh, gosh. 1 second.
If you would like, I'm sure Genevieve or Pocket Watson would be happy to help you.
I open up Pocket Watson and I say, all right, erase. Pocket Watson, Genevieve, who can tell me the 19th letter of the alphabet first? Go.
Pocket Watson straightens his bow tie. All right. S. Genevieve just rolls her eyes. She doesn't even try.
Wow.
He is ready. He has a little notepad. Give me more. Give me more.
21.
All right. You go through the whole message and go ahead and open Codex.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Pocket Watson, I say that's a point in my book for Pocket Watson.
Take that, Genevieve. Oh, please.
All right. Sumter, if you're reading this, I must be dead. I'm sorry I never had the courage to tell you this while I was alive, but you were my son, as much my son as you ever could be. That is why I looked after you as I could as your patron. But you may ask yourself how this all came about. Years ago, a colleague and I became fascinated by tales of artificial animation creating life from nothing. We researched tales of the fantastic from homunculi to golems. Each gave us pieces of the puzzle of instilling life as we built you, but there was still something missing. I sacrificed a piece of my soul to build you, and in so doing brought a great evil into this house. My colleague overjoyed at the progress, but was even more fascinated by the evil. When I told her the price was too high, she ignored me, and we parted ways. You deserve to hear the full story, but time is short. I promise I shall tell you more as you journey through the manor as it changes. Look for my words. Okay. Colleague makes me think Belle hurts. I think that she's the only person here that would count as his colleague. The phrase, though, the heart is the key to unlocking hers, makes me wonder if that is about Medina. I don't know for sure, though.
At the word key, Genevieve points to the heart and is like, you were looking for a heart with a key. There's a small key in the chalk drawing of the heart.
Yes, you're right. So maybe there was a key inside of his heart? I was thinking there might be something written for the piano puzzle, but that's not here, right?
You don't see anything.
Okay. Well, I wonder if the confrontation, if this fight happened inside the secret room, because whoever killed him might have seen this as well, that there's a key in the heart. Can I look around this? Is there anything else in this kind of mad person's lab?
Yes. So you see again, notes, whatnot. There's a little box full of black light bulbs. There's a box full of wires. Again, random things in jars, nuts, bolts, etc. But as your eyes adjust to the slightly gloominess of it, you notice that there's a blue light coming from somewhere. And it's coming from a corner of the room where there's a small grate.
I inspect the grate.
It's one of those, I don't know, air vent grates where you flip the switch and it opens kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
You flip it, and peeking through, you can see a large cavernous chamber lined in dripping cobblestone. On one wall is the frame of a huge portrait, floor to ceiling, while the floor is filled with pews. But the blue glow is coming from a wall-to-ceiling organ with twisted pipes and black vines, ensnaring a crystal heart pulsing with blue light.
Is the organ playing?
It is silent. But as you inspect the organ, you notice a couple interesting things. There is a dirt floor right before the organ, as well as small pedestals attached to said organ right above the keys. You can make out there's writing. You can't quite read what it says from here. Bad angle.
I can't see through this eye, can I? I can't throw Sumter's eye in and
Alas.
use that as a little spy.
I think that only works if you're a Sumter.
And this heart, you tell me the relation between this heart and the organ.
It is caught inside the pipes. So the pipes of the organ go up, twisting around it, but also these black vines are twisting up around this heart too. And it's thrumming with a blue light. The more you stare at it, the more you can swear you can see something swirling inside it.
Mm-hmm. Is she waking up?
It seems to be alive.
Yeah. Oh boy. I shut the slit.
Immediately, the momentary feeling of dread and ominosity disappears.
And I go on my merry way.
Probably fine.
That probably is not important at all.
Nah.
Oh boy. Anything else in this room besides the vent that goes into the heart of this entire mansion?
You might even call it the organ room.
Well, I'm kind of sad that I didn't get that, but that's very nice. More than one kind of organ, am I right? Lol.
Oh, yes. There's nothing else here.
Okay, well, I will step back out of the room. Spatially, would the grandfather clock lead the direction of what I just peeked at with the...
No, it would not.
Okay.
The secret room is on the west side of the the ballroom. The grandfather clock shares a wall with the studies. It's on the south side.
Okay. I'll go back over to the body of Sumter. Does it kind of click into place that, yes, there is a heart-shaped cavity, and yes, there was probably a key in here that was no longer here?
You, looking at the schematics and looking at Sumter, it does look like he is missing the heart that was in the center. So, yes, it seems that whoever killed him ripped out his heart afterwards.
That's so poetic. Okay, I want to leave the ballroom, and I want to go to the dining room.
Dr. Bellhertz is sitting there, tapping her fingers across the table.
Are you waiting for something? Or someone?
Waiting for everyone else. The time is running out.
And you're not doing your part. What about your puzzle?
Oh, my puzzle's the last thing to do, so once everyone is here, we can start.
Well, fine. I got some questions for you. Clearly, you're very adept at what you do. You're a scholar, a professor, right?
An independent researcher. I'm not attached to any particular university at the moment.
Right, you did say that. Would you go to any lengths to accomplish your goals?
What a curious question. I believe that in the pursuit of science, obviously, there must be sacrifices.
Sacrifices?
Oh, yes.
Are there any sacrifices that come to mind that you've made?
No. Colleagues and I haven't always seen eye to eye, and that's why I'm in an independent researcher. I've found that institutions don't support the relentless pursuit of knowledge as much as I'd hoped they would.
So you wanted to go further than some academies were willing to go?
Oh, in a nutshell.
Belle, tell me a little bit about artificial animation. Was this an area of study?
She sits up a little bit. Yes, I have been fascinated by the idea for quite some time, actually. Unfortunately, I've never been quite as fruitful as I'd like.
And would you be surprised if I told you that this would have been Sumter's area of study had he kept to academia?
She is silent, and she stands up and starts pacing.
It's unfortunate he passed, because I'm sure that he would have been able to make some really remarkable discoveries on the topic.
And
Why are you pacing?
it's just a curious idea. What makes you say that?
Detective aside, I have no idea what I'm doing. So, there's a great possibility of Belle Hertz being involved in this, but I don't have evidence to confront her with. I don't have I don't know what I can do besides asking her, because it's not like I can look at the hem of her skirt to see if there are still little gears. I guess that's what I'll do. Is there anything on her hands that's greasy? Is there anything on her because from the story, to be clear, from this blackboard
Yes.
that we just looked at,
Yes.
it says, "My colleague overjoyed at the progress, but even more fascinated by the evil."
Yes.
So this is not a glowing recommendation. This is there's clearly something here. So I am either confronting the murderer right now, or confronting something that could be way worse than a murderer.
Yeah, that is true. And it could be both. As you do look at her up and down, again, you note the brass leg
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
stands out. And you do note that she seems very calculating in this conversation. Beforehand, she kind of dismissed you out of hand, but she seems wary.
Looking at her leg, I say, "And you have a leg in common with the dear old Lord."
Oh.
That's some progress right there.
Yes.
Was that a step in the right direction, so to speak? Is this one of your sacrifices?
Oh, well, you might call it that. What can I say? The old man always knew what would be in fashion. If you must know, I got this after an accident in Naxos, an island in Greece. I used to have a terrible limp, actually, before I got this replacement.
And who gave it to you?
Oh, a friend of mine. Someone who's become more of a colleague. I'm not sure you know them.
Does it start with an M?
Belle Hertz raises her eyebrows but does not say anything.
Marcus. Her colleague is Marcus.
It's been you the whole time.
It's been me the whole time. Oh boy. Okay. Leaving her in her silence, I want some physical evidence. I want some way to know for sure. I want to go back to the body and look at that crossbow bolt,
Okay.
because maybe if I can find the murder weapon, I can discover more about how this happened.
You look at the bolt. You can pull it out from the body. It is a sleek, again, metal bolt. It seems to be made out of a pure metal. You are not sure how to identify it. Someone could, if you're looking for that. Looks like there is some sparking mechanism at the end. So, looks like
Right.
when this hit him, it shorted him out. Genevieve, as you're kneeling over it, inspecting it, she just rips it out. Nasty piece of work, this.
Do you know what this is? Do you recognize anything about this implement here?
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say, well, it's iron casing. Looks like there's wires inside, meant to shock on impact. Looks crafted.
So the person who took out Sumter had it planned, knew exactly what he was. I talked to Alec about this briefly, and he acted coy, like it was maybe possible that people could know about the artificial nature of Sumter. But Belle Hertz definitely knew from what I'm learning right now. Maybe I could go over to the library and talk to Jane. Could I ask her about this implement?
Yes. Okay. You go find Jane in the library, and you show her the implement.
Yes.
She backs away. I don't know where you found that, but please, give me a little space.
This is what was used to kill Sumter. If you can give me any information about what this looks like to you, if you have any information on it. It could have belonged to your uncle or someone closely associated with him.
It does look similar to something that my uncle might build. Maybe not quite his style, but similar. The iron is concerning.
The iron is concerning. Is there something about that metal?
Oh, well, it's never been kind to Fey folk.
Would your sister have the same reaction if I brought this up close to her?
Most definitely.
Are you able to touch it?
Not without severe burns.
So you're saying hypothetically, if this was used to kill someone, you would not have physically been able to use this thing as a killing implement? Is that what you're telling me right now, Jane?
That is an oddly specific question, but I suppose yes.
Jane, you have to know where I'm going with this, right? This
I did not
is
kill...
what. All right.
I did not kill that man, and neither did my sister.
I believe you. This is some evidence that makes me think that is true. But now I need to figure out which of the other two did, and I'm confident it is one of the two of them. I know that you and Alec haven't always seen eye to eye, and probably will continue to not to do so. Do you have any info on like how he might have reacted to Sumter? Was there any possibility that he would know that Sumter was going to be here?
Jane flushes. There's no way he could have known that he would have been here, but it wouldn't have been a very... Alec is already not pleased with Sumter, and he'd be even less pleased if he found out about Italy.
Even less pleased? What? They didn't get along, and that had... He hold that thought. Let me just go talk to him. So I think I want to walk back into through the kitchen, twirling this thing in my fingers as I just walk past Bell Hurts whistling.
Okay, you walk back Bell Hurts, you walk past Medina, I assume, too, and into the cellar.
Into the cellar.
Okay.
I take the bolt and I slap it down on the table in front of him.
Interesting. Can I help you?
Have you had time to think?
I've had lots of time to think. It's nice and quiet and damp down here. Brooding.
Yes, I've noticed. You're quite the brooder. In case you don't remember, I'll remind you. Just a few moments ago, I asked you about Italy, and I could tell you knew something. Have you gathered your emotion well enough to tell me what you thought about whatever happened in Italy?
I, of course, trust my wife. But there are times when I wonder if she may have been tempted by another man. Of course, I had no concrete proof of this. Yet, it still unsettles me. Especially when said person shows up unannounced to a dinner party.
So you did not know he would be here?
Hardly, otherwise I would not have listened to Jane and Medina's insistence on coming.
So you did not plan to come, either that you did not know that Sumter would be here.
As I told you, I had no intention of playing my old mentor's games.
Topic change. How do you feel about crossbows?
Crossbows. Well, I can't say I'm overly fond of the weapon. I'm sure you're aware of the connection to the famous vampire hunter Van Helsing. As he says this, you hear a little voice. Van Helsing? I know Van Helsing. You look around the room and you spot a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl popping up in the corner of a wine bottle in one of the little images there.
Wow, she can really get around if she can pop up in wine bottles, too. She's really got the run of the place.
I'm feeling a little more awake now, so yes. But I've seen Van Helsing. A few times, and not just in my paintings in the gallery.
And I think that is my missing piece. What are the odds that this name is somewhere in the room that I know Belle Hertz was in? I want to go back to the study.
Follow me. The little girl disappears outside the frame.
On my way to the study, I'm going to tap the table with the crossbow bolt and say, hey, let's get everyone in here. We're about out of time. Right, Miss Hertz?
I agree. Better get the canopic jars ready.
Uh-huh. And I go over to this study. Do I see the name Van Helsing anywhere?
You look around, and you see that there is, again, lots of artifacts mounted on the shelves on the wall. You notice that on one of the walls is an empty plaque, a little wooden mount that says, the Cross of Van Helsing. It is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's taken it.
Mm-hmm.
That's never good.
Yes, I think you're on to something. Okay. Genevieve,
Yes.
I know that your goal is to find something that we do not have access to yet.
Yes.
If we confront who I think the killer is, what are the odds we can still go through with the part of the ceremony we need to do that involves everyone? What order should we do these things? I want to respect your goals because you've been nothing but helpful.
I actually really appreciate that. Thank you. Well, there are 6 canopic jars, and there are me, you, Alec, Medina, Jane, and Belle. That is 6. If Sumter was still alive, I would say we'd deal with Belle now. Would it be a great tragedy to try the final puzzle first? I will say I don't quite know how it will go, but I do know what I need is farther along.
Say that last part again. I do know what?
I do know what I need is farther along.
Well, I do have a device that I could use to practically be in 2 places at once.
That is true.
Do you think I can run from the study to the ballroom in fewer than 53 seconds?
The issue would be holding it down at the same time.
Yeah, I was thinking if time is frozen and I held it down.
Oh, I
then it
see.
would
And
stay.
then you open it, and then you could run across. You could certainly try it.
Well, either way, we're going to grab all the canopic jars and bring them into the dining room. And if we see anyone on the way, we encourage them to meet us in the dining room as well.
You don't see anyone, but if you ask Genevieve, she will go gather people.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
All right. You gather everyone together in the dining room. You set out the 6 canopic jars. Everyone is staring at you.
As your butler, Gilly, I just thought I would take this moment to read once more the note that we were all given at the beginning of this night. Everyone, welcome back to Weitzel Manor. Distinguished guests, friends, and colleagues. I knew all of you in the course of my life, and I'm grateful that you would come together on this night, now exactly a year after my death. I know that not all of you know each other, but in fact I wager that tonight you'll grow closer than ever before. I need your help one last time. This manor is alive. Deep within these twisted halls lies the heart. You must remove the heart and destroy it, taking care not to waken her. Each of you has received an envelope with a clue that will help you this evening. I will warn you that tonight will be dangerous. If any of you were to walk away, I would not blame you. But know this, none of you would sleep easy were you to do so. Gather back in the dining room in 1 hour. A final warning, after gathering the items, you must not begin until midnight. And what time is it right now?
As you read that, the clock chimes midnight. You can hear a cacophony of grandfather clocks as midnight sounds.
I've decided that we should not proceed with these canopic jars until a few secrets are out on the table, because I believe one person does not plan to go along with Lord Weitzel's plans this evening.
There's a murmur as you say this revelation.
Sumter Hope is dead in the other room, and he is some sort of automaton, golem, or animated thing. Lord Weitzel was a mad scientist of sorts. He was instrumental in creating the life of Sumter, and said, in so doing, he lost a part of his soul and gave up this manor to some great evil. Someone here knows intimately the details of these sort of experiments. Someone here knows the secrets of this manor and the secrets of animating life. And that is the professor turned independent because no one wants to keep her, Belle Hertz.
As you say this, she puts her brass leg up on one of the chairs and leans against it. Fascinating. Please, do go on.
Sent to the study, she was the only one who had access at the time to the cross of Van Helsing. She also, I believe, was one of the only people to know the true nature of Sumter. And she, I believe, is the only one who could have prepared a crossbow bolt like this. Or if Lord Weitzel made it, then she would also know how to use it, how to jimmy rig it. You also said to me not too long ago that you have a close associate. Lord Weitzel has had something to say about that as well. He said that you have become obsessed with some evil, what he apparently considered to be evil. I'm not convinced you're going to do what needs to be done to make this dark entity stay asleep and be destroyed. I believe you want to waken her.
And why would I want to do that?
Well, you said yourself sacrifices need to be made, and I have a feeling that this power is just that, power. Also, real quick, Dreamer.
Dreamer pops up in the corner of a frame. Yes?
You said you feel more awake?
I feel much more awake.
That's a problem.
Much, much more awake.
Wouldn't you like to go back to bed?
Oh, but this reality is so much more fun.
I'm going to point to the Dreamer and say, I don't think we have much time. I don't think we can trust Belle. There are 6 jars, and there are 6 people in this room. What do we do?
Tricky, tricky, tricky. The Dreamer, scamps around the painting. What to do? So many choices. Everyone is thoroughly unnerved. It's midnight, Marcus. We've got to start if we're going to finish this.
Belle, what do you have to say for yourself?
I really wish you would have minded your own business, Gilly. What would you have me do?
Am I right? Do our objectives clash?
Ultimately, perhaps. She seems hesitant to say more at the moment.
Well, if you're just going to go ahead and admit it, I'm going to fling the crossbow bolt at her chest.
Oh my gosh. She is thoroughly startled.
What are the odds that it electrocutes her leg? That's what I'm betting on, and I'm hoping it works.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. We will say that it does. As it makes contact with her legs, she has propped it up on the table. She falls over and holds it in agony. Copper's very, very conductive, and so yes, it seems to thoroughly affect her. As you do that, you notice that the Dreamer starts glitching just a little bit, fuzzing in and out, and pops out of the frame. Disappears.
What do you mean pops out of the frame?
Is in the frame, then just leaves the frame. Sorry, not
Okay.
does not come into the...
Whoop.
No.
Okay. Can you read me the puzzle again of I want to do this and that and this one last time?
Yes. I want my feet to always dance.
Okay. So there's a jar of feet,
Yep.
yes?
Yep, with a foot.
Okay. Jane, I need you to take the feet to the ballroom.
Right. Jane takes the canopic jars. And what do I do with it there?
There's going to be a lantern with a button on it. You need to hold this in place.
Right, okay, I got it. She leaves.
Read the next line.
I want my green thumbs to feel at home.
I give the green thumbs to Medina, and I say, you need to head to the conservatory.
I shall. All right, the next line is, I want to be able to read and appreciate beauty.
Eyes to the library.
Okay.
Alec, will you take this?
All right. He begrudgingly leaves.
Same deal. It's a lantern. Put this on top. If there's an amulet somewhere, don't touch it.
Right, okay.
Next line.
I want my heart to be where it was filled with friendly conversation.
Is there a lantern within this room?
There is, right in the center of the table.
Okay. I tell Genevieve, hold this here.
Okay. Last 2 lines. I want my mind to be with my ashes.
His ashes are in the study.
And finally, I want to sip my Bordeaux one last time.
Okay. Here's the plan, Genevieve. I need you to take the mind to the study. I'll handle these 2.
Right, okay. She leaves with the mind.
I will take the tongue to the wine cellar, push it in place, and open the moratoria. Does it stay clicked down?
It does stay clicked down.
I run to the kitchen, and I take the final piece. Actually, I don't even remember what it is. What's this, the part in the kitchen? The dining?
The heart to be where it was filled with friendly conversation.
I take the final part, the heart, and I try to hold it in place in the dining room.
Okay. Are you going to close the moratoria?
Once I have clicked this into place, I unclick the moratoria.
Okay. As you close the moratoria, there is like just a split second, but it is enough, and you start to feel rumbling. The whole manor is starting to shake a little bit, just slightly concerning. As this is happening, you're trying to keep your hands on the jar, you hear a click. Dr. Bell Hertz is standing across from you, limping, holding her leg, but also holding a flintlock. You look above you and notice one of the flintlocks is indeed missing from the crossed Chekhov's gun.
I hate you. I hate you.
Sorry.
You're not allowed to Chekhov's gun me on my own podcast.
You didn't ask if it was there when you came back into the dining room.
Ugh. Okay. Go on, storyteller.
She holds the gun up. Believe me, Sumter's death was an unfortunate necessity. Yours might soon be if you're not careful.
I put up my hands, moratoria still in one of them.
Okay. It is cocked and ready to go. You could take a chance and open it. There's a decent chance that she get out of shot before you open that. I will warn you of this.
Okay, well, I'm just listening to her. Hands in the air listening.
I really wish this could have ended differently, Gilly, but I suspected you'd be too protective of your old master's wishes. The old bat was a fool. After bargaining with the Newman, with the god, instead of using that power or serving her, he locked her away deep in the heart of his manor. And I've spent years trying to find ways to unleash her again. In Naxos, I came across her old temple and was able to talk with her, and we made a deal. She healed my leg, and in so doing intertwined a bit of her soul with mine. And now I seek to return the favor in granting her freedom. You don't even understand what she is, who she is. She's a Newman, the Newman of nightmares. She seeks to remake this reality and those around it, and something more. As she says that, there is a heavy roar in the background, and that would be Alec. A nasty piece of work if you know how to get to him. Fortunately, as she says that, Sebastian the monkey scampers into the room, and she pats him. Seb here has a bit of a kleptomaniacal complex. I'm certain you remember him nicking the medallion of Orlok off you. Seems that it's found its way to Alec. How unfortunate. Another roar and a scream. Oh my, and I think he's hungry.
I knew I should have killed that monkey.
Good luck, dear Gilly. She hands the loaded gun to Sebastian, who looks even more ready to use it than she does.
What? A monkey with a gun?
Oh, yes. In case you think of following me. She exits the room, the door swinging shut behind her. Moments drag on like chains as you stare down at the pistol-wielding monkey. But suddenly, there's an explosion of deep blue light as the manor is shaken to its core. You're thrown against the wall, and as you hear the screech of a monkey, and everything fades to black. You awaken, not knowing how long it's been, but everything feels different. You can sense the thrumming of the manor as if it's alive. You can hear ghostly laughter echoing through the room. The dining room is a complete mess as items are scattered about. You stumble out into the entrance hall where the grand chandelier has been dashed to pieces, a crossbow lying in the wreckage. But still, a deep azure light fills the room, emanating from the door at the top of the stairs. The door that is now open. Genevieve emerges into the rubble of the hall and makes eye contact with you. Another roar rips through the manor. I'm sorry, Marcus. The evening's not over yet. The haunt has just begun.
One, 19, 25, 15, 21, 18, 6, 18, 9, 5, 14, 4, 9, 20, 19, 13, 25, 20, 21, 18, 14, 20, 15, 1, 4, 22, 9, 19, 5, 25, 15, 21, 20, 15, 1, 22, 15, 9, 4, 20, 8, 5, 18, 9, 19, 11, 20, 15, 12, 5, 20, 8, 5, 18, 4, 9, 5.